Welcome to Center of Light, everyone. Good to see you.
Access granted.
Everyone has access. February 13th, the year 2020. New things are happening. Are you one of the new things happening? Pretty cool question. Honest question, simple question, powerful question. Are you one of the cool things happening in 2020? The energy is being turned up. All things are being revealed. The sixth seal is open. The third eye is popping open. Everybody's seeing things. Seeing how it's all going down. The sixth seal has been opened. And we're also living in what we call revelations, to reveal. All these things happening in the world have always been happening. We're just now able to see it. Why? How are we able to see it? Well, Keith, it's because of the technology. Oh, agreed. The technology is a manifestation of the capacity of the human being able to finally see. Right? We're seeing the light. We're seeing the truth of things on this plane, and we don't like it so much. Now what? The things happening in today's world are the same things that were happening before technology in the recent past. It's just being revealed. And now that we can see, do we like what we see? Or don't like what we see? So, what we do to become a part of the solution and not part of the problem is make sure that we're seeing what we're seeing correctly. Because the mind will create a fright that is not even there. When you empower yourself with wisdom and truth, you will understand who walks beside you at every moment of your life, and you will never be afraid again because you can see. Finally, at last, I can see. Do you want to see? I see, and I'm trying every day to squint and see a little better. Tonight we're talking about regeneration of energy. Tonight is Center of Light Legacy. Generation of energy. Regeneration of energy. But also generation of energy. Look at this promo banner. The young person sleeping in a bed of stars, an incubation of stars in a galaxy. Regeneration of energy. Everyone, I invite you to share this to your wall. Give me some likes, some thumbs up. Leave me some comments. I'm moving into a greater capacity, a greater field capacity of my work. So as we look at this banner, we see the young girl laying on a incubator of stars, a galaxy, on the center of that center of light, the regeneration symbol. My new book coming out July 31st, 2020. You can pre-order now on Amazon if you're interested. Get with the first ones. I will sign it for you. However, we got to do this. Go to Amazon and look up Homecoming, Crossing the Bridge to the Soul. So tonight we're speaking about Center of Light Legacy, that which we leave behind. A story. We're all going to leave a story behind. Though you leave this world, you might not be interested in how people remember you. But it is part of your karma, which comes around, goes around. Good or bad. Karma doesn't mean bad. It means fact. Cause, and because of what you have done or not done, there is an equal and opposite reaction and effect. Reap what you sow. So tonight we're speaking about this legacy we're leaving it behind. If you have children, you're leaving behind you via your children. And look at your lineage. Without judgment, look at your lineage. Have you been cursed? Cursed meaning, God damn it. Now I see why all this stuff is taking place in my life. Because you are not only passed down genealogy, genetics, you pass down tradition, culture, beliefs, ideas, disbeliefs, realities, illusions, holies, blasphemous. That all comes with the package. Legacy. We're talking about the tree of life, as it moves through every branch on the one tree we call humanity, the tree of humanity. Is there light flowing from your ancestors, and will it flow down to your descendants? How else is illumination going to take place? Regeneration. Regeneration. So where does it start? It doesn't start with the next generation, though our children, the next generation, may influence us or inspire us. We are the stewards that pass hopefully the divine torch, so that in this regeneration of ourselves, the generation after us begins to recycle consciously, and it illuminates the world. And no matter if you're in this world at that time or you have transitioned to another experience, it will have great benefit and a great bang to your spiritual expansion in a moment's notice. If you're on the other side and there's a cosmic shift because you consciously contributed to this earth plane, when this earth 51%, wherever you are, you're going to feel it. So the regeneration happens within ourselves. We come to a state of awareness. One of the most powerful, dear God, powerful spiritual lessons anyone can ever begin to start to master. Awareness. What is awareness? Figure it out. Let me know. You are at least aware of the fact that you are aware. A fish is not aware of the fact it's aware. It's aware, but it doesn't have the capacity, nor is it evolved genetically to have that capacity. Also spiritually, in the form of a consciousness, to be able to be aware of itself as awareness. So already we're turning something within itself, and it begins to regenerate. It's a regeneration of energy. Regeneration of energy. So it begins with ourselves. So we can pass that legacy, center of light legacy, onto the children. Are you happy with the story you're going to leave behind? And I don't mean only the story that these bad things happen to you, but I'm also speaking equally about the story of how have you lived? Not the lessons life hammered or applied to you or pressed into you. This was all by intelligent design, because it's exactly what we need when these things transpire to show us the path to move ever higher. Inward is the way to go. Inward is the way out. Inward is the way out. Inward is also it can also be seen as inward is upward, metaphorical. Upward is forward, and we move toward something. Well, how is it going to benefit me? Many people are that selfish, including myself in some aspects of my life, that when I leave this earth, what's in it for me? I mean, what do I care? Like I said, wherever you are, whenever something magnanimous happens, you are affected. You take 2 subatomic particles. Eden Scott, I gotta ask the scientists. What is the theory when they have 2 subatomic particles and they put one in this universe and one in the other universe, they reverse the polarities or something, and when they affect one, the other one in another universe is affected? Do you remember what that's called?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Either way, you get the point. So regeneration. So we're affecting everything on every level, and it affects all of us. So it's in all of our best interests to support, nurture, however you need to, can, or able to, others. The highest calling is of service. People who work in a restaurant as wait staff, They are, in one aspect, living the highest calling there is, serving other people. Well, Keith, I don't have time. You're not serving yourself. Because it's in the serving of self, others, it's the same thing. When you serve others, you serve yourself. When you serve yourself, you realize it's about serving others. And in that deservingness of one to receive such grace from Creator, in that deservingness, you want to serve itness to other people. And so, in such a way, other people are always affected by everything we do or don't do. Are you a regenerator? Or are you just sucking energy off the generator? How much are you contributing to turning within yourself to get that wheel moving forward? Because when you turn inward, the wheel goes upward, which goes forward toward a something. Life lived on purpose is the greatest purpose there is. There is no higher purpose than life being lived on purpose. In purpose, for purpose, with a purpose, purposefully. This is called sincerity. I have a purpose. It may not be a great mission, but goddamn it, it's my mission. And I'm going to live it fully. One might say to themselves, or set themselves in a space of this kind of attitude, this kind of disposition. It creates regeneration within yourself, and for the generations to follow. And then the whole system, the cosmic system, begins to turn within itself consciously for those who have not yet fully illumined to an enlightened consciousness. See, this is an experience that's turning forever within itself. It's churning, it's yearning, it's burning, it's folding within itself to always greater, more beautiful possibilities. Thank you. Brother Lincoln comes through. He says, diatomic molecules. Everything is always turning within itself. You eat an apple, 2 hours later, it becomes a human being. Hello, Brett. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Lincoln. Krista. Dana Trotta's in the house getting some balance. Randy Pinnell. Jack. Libby. Hi, Libby. Ryan. Paul LeConte. Carl Lapperin. Melissa. Charles. Maria. Steve Stone. Heather. Carl Welch. What's up, JR? Kaya. Kelly Thomas. Sana Tiffany. Sandy. Let me see what's happening in YouTube land. Hello, Maria. Hello, Kelly in YouTube. Welcome, everyone. Center of Light. Tonight we are speaking of... Hello, Carol Pora. We're speaking about regeneration. About turning within. And you do it again. And again. And again and again. And things open up. So I had an epiphany today. I shared it with my beautiful boy, young man. That now I understand why this, if you saw my house right now, it looks a little different, doesn't it, from what you're looking at? It's in disarray. There are boxes and pans and trash and everything because I'm about to move. And it represents change, absolute change, stepping up. I live in a little guest house. I loved this little place. It served its purpose. So I've regenerated. I've turned within myself because I declared to the universe out loud to people who have visited here, even my son, I want to move. Even before I had to move. My soul was saying, Keith, it's done. It's worn out. Stepping stone. Step up. Turn inward. Move higher. Move forward. Towards something. That's exactly what this is. But my house is just all in shambles right now. So in such a way, it's sort of... Actually, I'm in such a disarray. I am in shambles. Hence, maybe this presentation is... Absolutely it is. Solely for me to dance my way through this shamble as I sit here with you beautiful peoples and ramble Tired of the gamble. Time to move up. I want to get to a greater space of seeing, knowing, manifestation, and that's happening. I have to step up my game to a new place to dwell, a new place to live, a place I can call a greater capacity of home. So in this moment in my life, as these boxes are everywhere, I'm turning within myself because I have to understand what this chaotic movement is, so I can find me in this new thing, this new spin, this new dynamic, this new energy. Because it's moving. I don't know where I'm going to live yet. I got a few possibilities. One's likely going to come through in the next day or so. Apartment, nice area. And it's just some of the thises and that's, waiting it out so it can play itself out and process. As it turns within itself, and I process it, and I regenerate this energy. So I can generate an outcome for myself. We all do this. Do we do this consciously? It's truly getting to the 51% mark so you can cross over the apex and then have gravity be in your favor. And you get pulled by the energy, turning within itself. So maybe if you have not found motivation to truly practice your spiritual expansion just because you're happy and things are cool, and you know that if you did it, you just don't have the motivation to try a little harder. Maybe your love for your kids could be an amazing motivating factor. If you're such a person with such an immense love for your children, the question simply becomes, what legacy are you leaving behind? You may have wonderful, beautiful children. How much further can we empower the children? The youth. It's our regeneration that we give to the generation that follows. Hi, Maria. Lenny Wyatt, what's up, brother? Brett Abear. Lynn Abear. Mary, we got some coonies up in here, some coon asses. Center of Light, tonight we're talking about regeneration of energy. Because there is coming. Winter is coming. There's going to be a cutoff point. That certain people will be allowed to use a word. It's a word we understand. Hi, Carolyn. The tests are to bring us closer to God. That's correct. It's the strength. It's grace. The tests are grace being offered to say, do you want to climb that mountain? You say, sure, I love mountain climbing. I love hiking. Take that with you. Or we're up for the task. Or we in for the task so we can be up for the task. To move forward in the task, toward a something. Regeneration. Though my presentations are a lot sound the same, there are different applications, a different way into the seeing of the mystic you want to become. I am a mystic. I'm into the mystical. I love the mystery. And just loving something with that kind of space, whatever it is, creates a regeneration of yourself. What is the self? My son and I watched this beautiful presentation from Muji last night. Oh my God. It's on my wall. I strongly encourage everyone to go on my wall later and scroll down about that far, and you'll see a presentation that Muji did last night. Wow. He will create a regenerative cycle within you, and you will feel the current move. And then you get 51%. At least in that experience, you will feel the stream consciously, alive, move in you. And it's beckoning your call. It's saying, follow me. It can be a little scary, because you're not sure where it's going to lead you. Kind of like my move that's going to happen in the next week. It's a little scary. You know there's some juice in it, some nuggets. But it can be nerving, simply because it's not what we know. But I'm here to tell you. So in other words, instead of myself, this is a perfect idea, perfect model, perfect example. Creates a wonderful image. Using my moving, my house being in disarray, me being in the unsureness of where I'm going to live, though I have a few options. One of them is really cool. This and that, and these things of the situation, they're moving. My house is in disarray, the boxes are scattered. So it's a manifestation of me being moved, unearthed. Things are being seen, the boxes. So this is all a reflection and manifestation of myself, is it not? This is happening to me. So instead of waiting till it's all over, the moving, and I get settled, process it now while it's happening. Understand what it means on every possible level. Well, Keith, it just simply means that you're moving because you're getting kicked out of your apartment. It does. It's deeper than that. It's a landmark in the experience of what I call this life. This moment is equally as great as the moment I had a year, 2 weeks, and 5 hours ago. There's no difference. It's a gradation of a whole experience. Our days as we sleep seems like it divides our states of consciousness, but it doesn't. You can achieve a state of consciousness, hence the word consciousness, that you are forever conscious. That's what these beings do and are able to experience, is unbroken consciousness. And so while I am in this, feel it. In fact, milk it for everything it's worth. I'm intending to go within myself and to generate an experience. So after you begin to do these kinds of spiritual practices, you begin to regenerate again and again and again, and you'd expand. So that if I do it now versus on the backside, if I do it now, when I settle, I'm settling my centeredness then versus going back and doing the work and trying to remember what it was like to find my true self in the center of it all. So I want to experience more of the real me in the experience versus all the disarrayed boxes and the shamble and the moving and not knowing. I want to find the me in it all that knows exactly what it is. And what it is shh, be quiet, be still, stop moving, feel the no feeling. There you go. From Muji, feel the no feeling. Can you feel the no feeling? 1 minus 1 is 0. Be the 0, the nothing. And as Muji said last night in his presentation, in the nothing is everything. But that doesn't paint the picture either. There's no way to explain it to you, or to any of us rather. There is no way for us to understand it. It's greater than that. It's greater than infinity. Well, how can anything be greater than infinity? Because infinity is a concept we understand that has no end. But it's not experiential, because experiential in and of itself is beyond the word that we're using to understand something that we have no conception about whatsoever. This is the power. This is the glory. This is the might of regenerating oneself consciously to live a life on purpose versus I'm content. At least I'm having more good days now than last year. I'm happy for your process and your progress. That's not enough for me. So how do we begin the regeneration process? We understand that it all begins with ourselves. And I'm learning that lately I've been on edge. And those closest to me will tell you. So I divulged that. Why? Because I want to find myself in the middle of the nonsense. And that's part of my nonsense. And it shows me what I am not. Which shows me more powerfully and greater to actually what I am. I'm tired of eclipsing who I am. I'm tired of eclipsing who I am. I'm tired of letting my mind, my noise, my monkey, the fears, my worries, my stresses eclipse that silent space. That's the only place that regeneration consciously can ever happen. We're always regenerating because once we do a something or don't do a something, we're sticking out information, and that information comes back to us. And as it comes back to us, we take it in, and we either process it consciously or we let life affect us, and we call people this and we do this, and we have these attitudes. Regardless, you are regenerating. You're regenerating the same cycle. I am trying my best, and I am doing it, to break the family curse. Nothing against my family. My family is the reason I'm able to be here. So I'm infinitely appreciative and grateful. But it is all of our responsibility, including the family members before me, regardless of location, generation, regeneration. Everyone's infinitely responsible for the well-being of themselves and their experience, no matter what you live on, no matter what level you live on. Fish run away, swim away from bigger fish, because they're trying to take responsibility and not have a bad life. Basically, get eaten. Robert Harrison, Alex, Natalie, Dana says, thank you. You're welcome, dear. Suzanne, Baseda, Linda, Chaplain Westbrook. So tonight I'm speaking about a lot of the same, but very differently. It's a different way in. Some people understand certain dialogue, others understand different dialogue. So if you have children that you love immensely and would do anything, and that's what you are, you just a loving machine towards some kid. If you have not find yourself motivated to expand or having a purpose or reason why to do it, let your kids motivate you. Pass down the fire of life, the tree of life, into them. Illuminate them. For God's sakes, don't ever hit your children. Well, Keith, my parents hit me and look how I turned out. For God's sakes, don't ever hit your children. You will destroy their spirit. Don't do it. Don't do it. You discipline through education. That's why it's called discipline. That's why Christ had disciples. He didn't hit his disciples with discipline because they're disciples. He educated them. Educate your children. Teach them who they are. Support them in being their full potential. Nothing else. Parenting does not end at 18. Parenting does not end at 21. You are a parent. Period. To the end. Your child steps out of quote line. It's your responsibility as steward to put them back into the path of the light. It's called regeneration. And that's what we're speaking about tonight here in Center of Light. Legacy. What are you leaving behind? Strangely, what you're going to leave behind is what you leave forward. As you move forward and leave this behind, life continues to move forward without you, at least on this plane. Legacy, regeneration, expansion, becoming that which is greater than what we know as ourselves. Becoming, your children are a chip off of your shoulder. That's what they are. A nut, a seed, fertile ground, they grow. Why don't hit your children? I can explain it to you this way. When you're trying to grow a tree from a seed, because your child or children come from seeds, father, into Mother Earth, the plant grows, and to the mother, the child grows. Do you think a farmer or someone who grows plants or trees, do you think they try to get the tree to grow upward, healthily, full, to be its full tree potential self by pouring weed killer on it and stifling the tree's growth? You think the tree's ever going to grow by stifling it, by chopping it? Do you think your children would ever grow to their full capacity by chopping them down? You're supposed to raise them up, not chop them down, bring them down, beat them down. For those out there who this applies to, you're going to be tender hearing that. That's not my hope for you, but in a way, it should be tender. Because it brings you into a space of awareness. Awareness is the most powerful spiritual tool there is. Awareness. So now that you know, you feel it. You feel that pressure. The pressure I caused in you. And the effect is how you feel. And how you feel speaks a lot. Speaks more than the words I'm sharing with you, doesn't it? It's a reflection. And it creates a regeneration in you. It says, you have been making choices, but I was taught that. That's the way my parents did. You have to break the cycle for the next generation, which creates a regeneration for the next generation, which creates this expression and an expansion for the children of light that are being born on this planet today. Look in a child's eyes today. If you're old enough from when your children were born 40 years ago, and you're seeing your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, you know the gaze and the fire in those children's of today's eyes are not like it was in the past. This is the level of responsibility that affects all of us. On this planet, or in any other experience, dimension, reality, plateau, plane, existence. Because when one becomes affected, the whole tapestry begins to move. So it's the best ploy anyone has for everyone about anything ever. That is called expansion. So when we get everyone on our side, and when everyone gets on your side, and you get on everyone else's side, the whole thing becomes this explosion of light like a fireball. And this is what's happening. But you got to get in the game. So it's beginning to exponentiate and open up. Take a short pause, and as I've always been saying, the time to act is now. The regeneration train is picking up speed. Woo! 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 All aboard! Regeneration for the next generation and the next generation. So that if we choose to come back, our slate's clean. It's been wiped clean. No more karma. No more bullshit nonsense. Because you will end up where your best bang for the buck that you've stolen from the system by not being conscious, you'll have to pay it. And right now that gate is open and saying, the queen is coming. She's a loving queen. Rather, she's a just queen. She's the dancing queen. Give me right back. Welcome to Center of Light Legacy. We're speaking about regeneration of energy. I'm looking for the right song.
There's a world apart from a man plan to make, to promise yourself you'll celebrate. There's a time to love, and a time to trust, and a time to know you are loved. Time to know you are loved. So let the love of God on you. It's always been that way. It's time to celebrate what you are. It's time to celebrate who you are. It's time to celebrate that you are.
'Lavender Soul. Been working on a new album. It's been a couple of months since we got down into that, but life is just changing, moving around. The energy is moving around. Find yourself in the moving around. Make sure that you're planted and not in the moving around. Moving around. The moving around. We're talking about regeneration of energy. It's all energy. It's all turning within itself. It looks like people, but that's not what it is at all. It's light. Light is moving around with some dark stuff. The dark would be the people who are unconscious, including myself. When I have aspects of my life that are shrouded in fear or anxiety, or to any level, to any degree for anything, they're just blocking the expression of light, which is the omnipresent God, which is everything. The regeneration happens solely, SOLEY, solely for our benefit. That's what the regeneration is. The Spirit is already in all ways what it is. Present. That's what the Spirit is. It's presence. Whether we are aware, the greatest spiritual tool you can ever use, whether we are aware of the presence or not. And the avenues and the areas of your life that you are present, you are illumined. There's no more illumination that needs to happen. So we need to keep figuring, so to speak, not out, but figure in these equations. Rather, as a perfect way to set up what I'm going to tell you now. So it's not a way to figure out or in equations. It's a way to bring you to that place. What it really is for is to stop the game. What game? The figuring shit out. There's nothing to figure out. It's your job to be peaceful. Robert said something, but I like the way he said it, because it's, even though it sounds different, it is what I just said was stop figuring things out. And then Robert said something that was equally poetic on the opposite spectrum, but it has the same vibration. I said, stop figuring things out, just be happy. And then Robert says this. It takes you to the same place. The quest for happiness is the vein of existence. The quest for happiness is the vein of existence. We all want that. So we're willing to do what many people are willing to do what it takes to move into the artery, the vein, the conscious life stream, so we can be in existence eternally, unbroken flow, being out of unconsciousness, being fully conscious all the time. That's called eternity. That's called being eternal, living eternally. There's no more interruptions between me and my Father, me and my Divine Mother. I am connected. I am truly now a child of God. We're all children of God, but child of God in this aspect is capital C. It's about illumination, and it happens through regeneration, so that we clean up the mess of curses that we've had from our past. Grandparents, great-grandparents, All this monkey business. Back to monkeys. I'm not saying we come from monkeys because that's a whole nother presentation. Crystal Huggins. Terry, what's up? Scott Davis, what's up, my bro? Please send my love to Kim, unless she's with you. What's up, baby girl? So tonight's Center of Light Legacy. What are you leaving behind? Regeneration of energy. You think you're bringing forth a child? You are. You have. You will. That's not what you're doing. You're bringing forth this bundle of energy that is made up of a community of trillions of cells and components and variables. And to each one, they are singular and separate. And you have this trillion cell community that you call you, which you think is solid as an individual being. Well, you're not. And this whole thing is mushing within itself, turning in and out. Regeneration. And those energies, from subtle to gross, who are aware of the infinite Godspeed energy, turning, burning, churning within itself. You look at galaxies. They're just moving and everything is just turning. As above, so below, on forever it will go. As this transpires, those who become illuminated get to be a part of the party. Everyone else is not old enough. Let me see your ID. No, you can't make it. You're not mature enough. My point is, I'm excited about that party that's going to happen. I'm going to it. Some people are going to have to wait the next go round. How many more incarnations? 26,000 year cycle? Regeneration. You got to be conscious of what's moving. The energy's moving. Every day we get closer to November 4th, the day after election. You want to talk about mirror effect? Being shown something, being shown yourself? Will you be upset? Or will you have predicted this intuitively within yourself? I saw this coming. My support and suggestion for you is to see it coming versus be a part of the dumbed down numbing and the thumbing that is being pressed on humanity. It's not blaming. It's not shaming or gaming. It's about, Spirit has a lesson in this for me. So when we step back and learn where the grace is at, we get to eat the cookies. You don't, you'll get your hand slapped trying to get into the cookie jar because you're not responsible enough. That's how it works. That's how it works. But it's not a punishment. It's not a disciplinarian. It's not a whipping. It's, I love you. Look. And Spirit knows that that is what it's going to take to get us to the higher plateau. Because the lower ones didn't work. I mean, the other ways we were shown didn't work because we're still in the mess. It's always grace bringing us to our best. And in that, everything rests. So when your life is in disarray or shambles, like mine is right now because I'm moving, it is a reflection of what's happening in me. My life is being moved one place to another. When I find me in it, in the movement, I find the real me. The real me. I don't mean the egoic me. The me that is intuitive, the me that is knowing, the me that is planted, the me that has faith, that me that is faith now because I found the greater capacity of my infinite potential, my infinite possibility. I understand what that is. It's me. I'm no longer afraid because I know who walks by me. You will see fears. You will see miles off of your spiritual life just simply dwindle before your eyes. Walk in the light, everything becomes revealed. Find yourself in the light when even aspects of yourself are being revealed to you and to others. When you integrate the light of what's been handed to you, you regenerate. You regenerate. Everything is always wanting to Everything in the universe wants to be recognized. Everything. And when we recognize the it in its beauty, all those bad things stop becoming ugly. Strangely, they become beautiful, because that's what the universe is. And everything in it, it is all beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The eye. I didn't say the eyes. Eyes. Of the beholder. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What are you beholding as your legacy? Maybe in some sense, pride is a good word in this context. A positive word, pride. Do you have pride? I don't mean pride. I mean, do I feel like I'm proud of this accomplishment, that I walk on the earth softly and I will leave it better than I found it? That will give you all the cookies from the cookie jar. This existence, your next one, you think your existence is going to truly start when you die? If you're good and God's grace says, let him in, Peter. It doesn't work that way. Your grace is here now. Let him in, Peter. You're being welcomed in. Check it out.
Access granted.
That's the truth. There's nothing to do. The garden is here. Can you see it? Are you regenerating yourself, expanding to levels of awareness than you've had previously, so that seamlessly you can move into greater levels of awareness and become the regeneration yourself? Because the generations to follow need you. Seeds only produce the information. Information. Are you one that is informed in a form? Are you inform? Are you information? Are you in a formation that is intelligent? Intelligence itself. And are you becoming a vessel for that? So it could set itself in you until you lose all body identity. If you follow a deity, follow it so much that you bring it into you in such a way that you lose yourself entirely. That's called regeneration. That's called rebirth, recycle. And this cycle that I'm speaking about, physically, if you're embodied on this earth plane, will not come back around for 26,000 years ish. It's just the way the energy rolls. It's like a tone. It's like waves in the ocean. There's rises and falls. It ebbs and flows. Comes and goes. And right now, that cycle is every 26,000 years. It's okay. You might like the roller coaster. You might want to stay in it. You might want to get back the line and ride it again. That's okay. I've been riding it far too long. It's fun. It's been a joyous, exhilarating ride. This apartment, guest house, which I'm grateful for, was a joyous, exhilarating ride. I'm ready for a new ride. So I'm going to be moving. And thank you all for your support from myself and my son, your prayers, your help, contacts that you've sent me. So in your support of myself and my son to regenerate, not only physically and moving, but the things we're going to be seeing on a daily basis versus seeing what's in this house and the way it looks, the location it's in, it all creates regeneration. The trick, my cosmic broham assistar, is, are you looking for purpose through it all? Find purpose. Purpose is moving it all together. It's the thread that sews the tapestry. Are you seeing the movement of that thread in the bad and the good? You should. If you do, it's very good. You will understand the plan at hand that is for everyone to see. But you have to see enough to where you let things be as they are. Chime in when your spirit says, now you can speak, dear one. Step forward and let your voice be heard. Or go do this thing. Now, then step back. When the voice stops talking, you step back and watch the play as it unfolds. You will see it aligns with everything you were ever told from Scripture. Regardless of the truth book, they are all laced with truth. Some of it is culture, language barriers, so forth. This is not supporting any religion nor anti-religion. What I'm saying is there is a thread that's been moving. And those who have been regenerated and had the ability of sight, those are the ones who wrote down these lores, these stories, these prophecies, and it points to now. Holy cow. Moo moo. It's always a blessing to be with you. Abigail says, I am currently learning this. Thanks for the confirmation. You have... That's regeneration. You were generating something within you to play with it. You got your validation and your confirmation. Now your faith has served its purpose. You play with an idea. Spirit comes along via me, or whoever it would be, but in this case it happens to be me. It says, yes, you're correct. It regenerates. Now literally, because of this, you just went from, let's just say this, you went from here to here. You went, and we keep expanding greater into the light to where we become nothing. It's beyond nothing. To where we become infinity. It's beyond infinity. It's just this ongoing turning, burning, churning thing of infinite potential. Always. Infinity is ever growing. Infinity is ever growing infinitely, exponentially. You are, seriously, to me, a treasure. It is my pleasure. I love you beyond measure. I won't be doing, probably will not be doing another presentation till I get settled. Could be a couple of weeks. However, tomorrow night on Center of Light Radio, I have a guest, a mystery guest, and I have a mystery guest host. First time ever. Things are regenerating. You are loved beyond measure.